Hello everyone, you're listening to the Legacy Podcast here on EdTech TV. We are streaming on YouTube, Hitbox and Beam, and would love to see you there. In this episode, we are talking about custom content private realms, server spotlight, Sethkur and Elysium PvP, forum highlights, a spell guide for warlocks and the financial report of Elysium, leveling comparison of Legion and Vanilla. We bring to you the guild spotlight, and ideas on what to do first at level 60. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hello and welcome everyone to the third podcast. Now I am Mosen, and obviously today I am here with good old Light from Denmark. So how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I had a little bit of a cold, but it's going away swiftly.
Good, that means you can play.
Oh yes.
I saw your low level.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, well, I'm Mosen. If you haven't seen this podcast yet, we are going to talk about the private realm community, about Elysium, Sethkur, Anathema, Darrowshire, of the Elysium project in general, but also about other servers. And this podcast comes out roughly weekly. This time we took a bit longer because we always have to get together to record this, obviously, and this week was a little bit harder for us to record it, so it's a little bit later, but that won't stop us. So sometimes it will be like 2 days later or something. So this is number 3, and we're gonna change things a little bit up in this podcast, bring a little bit more structure in it, because I felt like it's nice. It's been working good. The feedback has been amazing for me personally. I want to say thank you for that, for commenting and all that, and liking. But we're gonna change it up a little bit because we felt like it. So what we're gonna do is we're going to have our regular topics, and then we will add some stuff about the community, because we felt like you can throw quick information in there, and mix things up a little, so we're not just constantly talking. So you'll see that later. I'll just explain this real quick, because we want you guys, that's where you guys come in, we want you guys to participate in this, and we kind of need you for this. So in the comments of this week's episode, you can always leave your name or where you play, so we can contact you if you're interested in participating in this. It's nothing special. Either you hop onto Skype, or you just tell me and whisper, or write an email or whatever. So we're going to have 3 weekly formats or things that we're going to throw in between the things we talk about. The first one is going to be the server spotlight. So this one is really interesting for you guys, especially because you guys can come in and in the comments let us know what happened on your server, or if there's anything really crazy going on, like a big scam wave, or someone's been duping, or a guild killed all the raid content in one day already, like when Blackwing Lair comes out, or there's a rank 13 already, or whatever. So we want you guys to let us know in the comments what happened on your server, so we can contact you, and then we can feature it in the server spotlight. And if there's anything special going on, this is also interesting for people playing on whatever Kronos, or I don't know, Phoenix, or if you're playing on a totally different server, you want to let people know about, because this server is really full. I mean, maybe you can snatch some people off that enjoy playing on lower populated servers indeed. And so let us know where you play, what's going on your server, and if it is worth being featured in the next episode. The second thing that we're gonna bring in is going to be the forum spotlight. So Light is going to pick out 1 or 2 posts that are incredibly stupid, important, or just interesting to notice, and we're gonna just talk about that just really quickly. The third one, this is also something where you guys can come in and participate in the show, and would encourage you to do so, because this is going to be the guild spotlight. So if you guys are in need of more raiders on your server, for example, you're on Sethkur, and it's an even fresher server than Elysium PvP, and you are a guild that raids, I don't know, at night. At 1 a.m. is when you start, because you have oceanic people or people that work in shifts, and you're a late night raiding guild. It's going to be hard for you to recruit, so we can feature you guys in the spotlight. It's not about just recruiting; it's also about bringing some light on the different types of guilds. There might be a guild that really role plays only and hardcore, and you want to find more people for this, and this could be a really good opportunity. So anything goes, really. So let us know in the comments below this video if you want to be featured, what makes your guild special. Otherwise, just whisper me in game. The server is Elysium PvP, and the name is Mosen or Etic. And I think we're gonna jump right into the first topic. Our first topic of the day is going to be the custom content private realms. Now this is the topic that I stumbled upon when we had this big downtime the other week, and I just watched videos or reviews of other private realms, and what really caught my attention there was realms that actually put in their own content. You know, they scripted it, they built it, and stuff like that. So, but as I gotta say first, before explaining this, obviously there's a lot of custom content servers that are like you go log in, and then there's a silly vendor or a main or a mall of vendors, I think it's what it's called, and then you just buy all of the gear and you just do silly stuff. You know, you just go into really badly scripted and easy dungeons, and you just PvP with full gear, which you just buy at the start or for some weird currency. Now that's not what I mean. I think that's those are the custom content servers for just having fun or whatever. I don't know why someone would play there. It's certainly not for me, but I know some people do play there and they do enjoy it. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. What I want to talk about is, because I saw one server, and at some point in this topic, I'm gonna put in some videos so you can get a general idea of what I mean. I saw one server, for example. Now I can't remember what the name was. It was either I'm pretty sure it wasn't Heroes WoW. I think it was WoW Undying or something. And you know, that one it started out in Burning Steps. You know, Morgan's Vigil. And there would be like a script when you enter the world that people resurrect you, and there would be dialogues written for it, and you know, it looked really kind of Blizz-like-ish. And then you would go out, and there would be camps designed especially for this, and new quests, and a quest helper working, and a storyline written to it, and the whole Burning Steps was completely freshly designed with a new questing area, and you would start as level 1 and it would go until level 19, but everything was really detailed and designed very well, like Blizzard had designed it. So that and there was dialogues written for it, as I said, and really nicely done quests, and it wasn't silly or you know, anything like that. So first, maybe you have something to say to this. Before.
I mean, it's really interesting, instead of just playing on these fun servers where, you know, you face a road of mobs that will take you up to level 60 or even beyond that. Some fun servers take you up to like level 200 or something.
Yeah, and then like you buy road,
gear. Right? Yeah, it's a road, or there are donation points that you can buy gear from or something like that. And it's not those servers we're interested in. No. We're just talking about servers who have some sort of custom content in it. So either they have some personal quests, or they have, you know, scripted new bosses in some areas, which just generally change the game a lot to make new classes or something like that.
So we want to focus on in this discussion on those servers that kind of take vanilla, you know, as a base game, and then add additional content to this. So what I thought was really interesting would be when I saw this one server that, you know, didn't overdo it or have any stupid donation points or a road where just mobs would be put there and you just kill them to level up. You know, they actually made a story, they made good new quests, and they made something really interesting. So what I thought was, now I've already played on 3-4 vanilla realms, and now this is probably going to be the last one for me. Like maybe one more after this. But what happens after this? Because there's going to be a lot of people that still like the world and they don't want to necessarily play retail. So maybe, you know, it would be interesting to have to take a vanilla server. Now this is my idea. Now this is crazy. To take a vanilla server like Nostarius, Elysium, whatever, fully Blizz-like, and then on top of this, you have like a team of people that add custom content to it. You know, that take the game and kind of, I don't want to say streamline it, because that's kind of what Blizzard did with retail and it turns out to be shit. But you know, first of all, add some custom content. Like let's give some examples so people know. Let's say you know, there's an island in front of Dustwellow Marsh, I think it's called. It's the prison island. I don't know exactly the name. I can look it up or just put it here. And that's just an island full of elites, and there's a prison there. So, for example, Varian Rin is there, imprisoned at the moment. That's where he is. You can actually go there, I think, and somewhere he should be standing there in this client. So anyway, that's where he stands, and you could it's basically a big prison island with keeps and everything and elite mobs, and you could go there and create some quests there, you know, because usually what happens right now in vanilla is, you know, in level 30 you have to go to STV and it's slaughter and all of these things, and you could add an additional quest hub there if you design the quest well and not stupid, and they don't give like crazy huge rewards, just something that makes, you know, adds a little bit of spice to the game. For example, okay, there's a small expedition there and they're exploring the island, so you would have a quest where you need to take out some of the wardens and, you know, explore an area and whatever the case. That's one example. Or let's say you know, in Tenaris, at the bottom of the map, there's the gates to Uldum. You could work around that a little bit, or really just you know, just look at Ashara. I mean, there's a huge zone and there's almost nothing going on there. So what you could do is you could actually you know, have it as a kind of open or world PvP zone, where you have like the horde in the bottom and then the alliance in the top, and there's a big sunken city in the center, so you can have another quest hub there, give an alternative maybe for level 30 or, you know, level, or even for level 50. I mean, why not, you know, or 47 or something like this, and then have objectives you can capture, and the horde and alliance, you know, would fight over it, and it would actually matter there. For example, you know, you would gain more resources from mining or herbing or whatever the fuck. So basically, just add custom content to it. That is not that you know, that goes hand in hand and well with vanilla, to take it a step further after we are all done with these with the regular vanilla content.
And the other thing could be some sort of progression after Naxxramas, because a lot of criticism is leveled at these servers that, you know, well, once Naxxramas is out,
yes,
there's nothing to do. And in vanilla, there are a lot of places which are unused. Other places that you can't get to, like the Emerald Dream is actually in the game files, and you can hack your way to Emerald Dream.
Yeah.
Or if you're a GM, you can just port there. And there's also the basement of Karazhan,
oh yes,
which you could add in, and you could just design your own bosses, just like in the event that Elysium had for testing the servers before they're released. they had a big naked gnome running around, which and some other world bosses. I mean, it's easily doable. You could do that. You can make an entire new raid.
Yeah, exactly. I just talked about like the new quest content,
Yes.
or Blasted Lands, Netherguard Keep. There's hardly any quest there. Why not have a Horde quest hub? And they need to raid Netherguard, kill some mobs there, and then Alliance defends it and all this shit. And there's a big demon area and all this. So much unused stuff you could add quest hubs. And then what you say, you could add. What you've heard it so many times probably, but a Scarlet Monastery raid, like what the fuck?
Oh,
something like why not something like something simple to start out with? Something like Onyxia or something. A boss or something, an entrance that is in Cathedral or something, and then you go into a raid dungeon that has 2 bosses. Like one really high motherfucker. I don't know, like. Balnazar or something, is back, and whatever the case, or put it into Hearthglen or something,
Yeah. What you also could do is remake a raid. So if you make a new server, this obviously won't work on the private servers that already exist. Yeah. But if you make a new server, you can put all this new content in, new items, maybe not new talents and spells. I think those are pretty much hard locked. But, remake Molten Core, or make Naxxramas the first raid you go into, or whatever. And remake all the bosses. I mean, a lot of bosses in Molten Core just tank and spank. There's nothing interesting to them.
That's what I meant with... but let's stick with the first idea, the general idea of adding some custom content. Now, important is... with the idea that I have is important is that it all is... correct lore-wise, it all has to work out lore-wise somehow. So that means you can't just put, I don't know, can't just put Van Cleef back in Scarlet Monastery. Like, what the fuck? That wouldn't fit. So, for example, Scarlet Monastery raid with 2 bosses in Hearthglen with an entrance or something, and then you could go to, I don't know, you could go to Grimbatol. I know it's in retail nowadays, but you could use this whole area. There's a huge area in the wetlands with red elite dragons running around. You could use this area to have either a quest hub or an elite quest hub or a new raid. And also what you said. Now that is the first part. You could either add that after Naxxramas is out, or you could add that on a special server that has a broader variety of things, and lets the developers be creative a little bit if they're interested in lore and want to bring something fresh to the vanilla experience. Now, always important is that the shit that you get from this stuff is not totally overpowered and is really thought through in terms of items and stuff you get and lore. It always has to fit. Now, the second thing is, that's what you said, is go and kind of streamline a fresh server a little bit more and rework stuff a little bit on top of adding just a little bit of content, fresh custom content. So for example, what you said with Molten Core, let's give an example. Let's say Gar is, or let's say Baron Geddon. You tank and spank it, and the melees move out of the fire. And if you are the bomb, you run to the side. That's the boss, basically.
Yeah.
And you dispel. Okay, so that's not really hard. So why not give him, something? Why not give him an ad that spawns? That needs to be either banished or something like that. Why not add some more mechanics to it to make it a little bit more interesting?
Yeah.
Why not have everything in Molten Core has 30% more life to give, to compensate for everyone knows how to min-max their classes nowadays. So everything has 30% more life and deals 10% more damage. For example, just saying, it could do anything. Or a Chesra, it's a boss that teleports around and AoEs. And it's like a really chaotic, weird fight. And so why not have phases where he doesn't take damage so much, and if you manage to, I don't know, like burn down a shield or something, then he takes a lot of damage and stops the AoE or something. Where he targets random players and they need to be healed with a certain spell, or he has more vulnerabilities, or just add a little bit of spice to the game at some point. So the I think, I don't know if that is possible. I'm totally not a developer. I have no idea about that, but I'm pretty sure it is, because we've seen it on some of the servers. And I think it would be just really interesting what you can do, let's say in 2 to 3 years from now, when people have played this again and again, and then you could be so creative and with a cool team, that thinks about the lore and having everything in the vanilla spirit, add some nice little extra content.
Yeah, I mean, you could possibly remake the entire game. You could also, and this is controversial perhaps, but you could remake a newer expansion, and while keeping the original WoW feel. So a lot of people are complaining about Cataclysm, for instance. You could remake Cataclysm, but keeping the vanilla feel. So remove the LFD and the LFR thing, improve the raids and all that. Yeah, that could also be a possibility, to breathe new life into some of the other expansions.
For example, I think there's a lot of newer servers that deal with newer expansions more than vanilla servers. And vanilla always feels a little bit ditched behind, and then you play the game, and you go into, for example, Ashara or all these unused zones, and you just think, man, wouldn't it be cool if there would be more stuff to quest in Ashara, or wouldn't it be cool if the game just evolved a little bit? Let me give an example real quick. I mean, we've raided Moonbrook so many times. Either the Defies Brotherhood, has reinforced a little bit, or you could add some walls to it, or Sentinel Hill. They've been fucking building this in for so long. I'm not saying like revamp the whole world like a Cataclysm, but add a little bit here and there, just to make it a little bit more dynamic. If you would have one of those custom content servers, you could actually move a little bit and let the things add. I've seen one thing was really cool. They added just NPCs walking through the towns and cities to breathe in some life on the server. I saw player housing, something that Blizzard wanted to implement for so long, and they gave us garrisons. So why not implement that? I've seen videos of people creating an interface for a Blizz-like interface for player housing. It's really easy. It's not really easy, but for them it seems like really easy, and you can actually do it. So that would be something. I've seen there's an area above Tirisful Glades with a couple of towers and everything. What about the whole? What about Gilneas? I know Gilneas is in retail, but you could just make it a little bit different. There's a big elite town below Shadowfang Keep. You could put some quests in there for Alliance or something. The whole Lordaeron area. What about Lordaeron? I'm gonna show you a video of a rebuilt Lordaeron. I mean, that's so awesome. It looks amazing, and anything really. I mean, there's so much. I feel like Hinterlands has some of the quests you could streamline a little bit. Lower level dungeons, you could actually look at the loot of the lower level dungeons and then maybe remove stuff, with 5 strength and 7 agility on a cloth item or something like this. And then, put some more interesting items in it. Maraudon, maybe remove 1 or 2 trash packs and add some some cool loot to one of the smaller bosses that is just shit, to be honest, at the moment. But whatever the case, you could do a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of unused things that are in the game, and I think you get our point. Anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I mean, it also adds an element of mystery back into the game. I mean, certainly one of my big problems with the game, besides Will of the Forsaken, because I'm a warlock, is that everything has already been explored. I mean, every raid, I haven't seen past Black Mulera and Zul'Gurub yet, but, well, I've seen the footage, but I haven't played them. But I know exactly what's going to happen. I know the bosses in AQ in and out, and I know most of the bosses in Nax in and out. I know every ability, and I know exactly what I need to defeat these encounters. Yeah. And even for these servers who try to be innovative by, updating the gear for the patch that it's emulating, which is nice, but it's still, I'm going to know exactly how my gear is going to change. I know that when DM comes out, some of the gear will change, and I know the stats. So by introducing new raids, or maybe not new raids, but new encounters, new gear, and all this, you can actually make the gear more interesting, and you can make the whole experience so much more interesting and mysterious. Like having new quest hubs and new quest dudes who is standing somewhere, who need to find this dude. You have no idea where it is, because no one has actually done the quest before, right? I mean, you can't just go on Thoughtbot or well, I guess Vanilla Gaming, the database, and search for it. You need to find it yourself, and I think that would be really cool to see.
Yeah, exactly.
While still keeping the spirit of vanilla.
Now this is the one thing. Maybe it's good to close this topic off. This is not about like you guys just want another add-on. That's the same shit that Blizzard did. It's not about this. It's about having the base game and not adding an add-on. Not having an add-on and just adding custom, cool, spicy content to the game, which makes it a little bit more interesting. And add-ons are easy. You just raise a level cap and you add new shit. But that's not what we're talking about. So. There's also, I'm probably gonna put the videos in here anyway. There's also an island, or one or two islands of the Zandalari Islands, stuff like this. Kulturas. What about this shit? Couldn't there be a city of Kulturas somewhere on the map, and etc. And so there's a lot of things that have been in the game since alpha already, and then they got scrapped. Two big, fat, cool-looking islands, which I just totally don't get why they would scrap them, but that's how it is. So I think you get the point, and maybe we could get some wake up some interest for you guys to check it out on YouTube. There's a lot of content on there, and maybe you can check it out and just let us know in the comments what you think about this, because we think it's really interesting, and maybe it's gonna be something in the future, but I think this sums it up for now. Let us know. I'm always hyped to talk about these things. Just let us know what you think. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the server spotlight. And today's server spotlight focuses on our realm, that is Elysium PvP and Seth Kerr. So those are both very, very fresh servers. Elysium PvP launched on January 17th, and Seth Kerr, I believe, 2 weeks after this, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to put these servers in the spotlight right now, and talk about really quickly what was going on, how the servers are, what you can expect of them. So first of all, I think there was news from Seth Kerr that there has been a huge horde raid on Lakeshire, I believe.
Oh yeah, big one.
Can you say something about that? I know there's horde ganking on Elysium PvP constantly in Lakeshire. They live there, I think.
Yeah, there is a rogue who must be unnamed, who pretty much lives in the Lakeshire Inn. I think he also did the same on Nostalrius, but yeah, he's been living there. But this raid, it was on Seth Kerr, and it was just a huge horde raid of mostly non-60k characters because it's so early, right?
Yeah.
And I think they're emulating the big raid that happened on Nostalrius, which is I think 1 week after the release, and that was in Westfall, but this time it's in Lakeshire. But it was huge to see. A lot of streamers streamed about it, and a lot of videos on it. Right. It's a really big raid, which is great to see. I mean, I love World PvP, and I really love RP content, players making up their own content.
Right.
And this was just huge to see, and I would really like someone to get this going again. Like now the Horde has invaded the Alliance, now it's the Alliance time to invade the Barons, or something like that.
Exactly. So that means if you guys are into PvP, World PvP, organize those raids, boys. Let's raid the Crossroads. We need to counterattack this shit. So that happened on Sethkur. And I think on Elysium, it's been alright so far. Nothing too crazy. But we wanted to give a little bit of insight on what you can expect on the servers. So, I mean, let me just start out with Elysium for now, because that's where we are. So that was the point where we need your comments in the video, below the video right here, to tell us what's going on you guys' servers, and then we're gonna pick the best comments and then gonna put it in the podcast. So let us know what's happening, So on Elysium PvP, I can just say there's a big, crazy, I don't know, spamming going on in the World channel about who came in fourth and first and whatever in clearing the content. Obviously, Elysium PvP had a lot of guilds that were already built and came over as a whole group, rushed to 60, cleared the content. Now they're fighting, I believe it is Grizzly, Vigor, and something like that, and they're all fighting about like who cleared what first. I think Vigor and Demise and Praise, they got together to clear the content before them, and Grizzly seems to be pissed and then advertise with being server first still, and the rest of the server obviously jumps the train. It's good marketing strategy for Grizzly, but I've seen them on other servers. That's just how they roll. Just controversial at all costs. It's the impression I get. I don't know. It's if you need that, okay, but they came. I believe they came in fourth on the server. I might be mistaken, but yeah. So there's a lot of beef going on between those 4 guilds or 3 guilds or whatever, and the rest of the people just enjoy the game and play pretty chilled, I would say. But also, Elysium PvP has, I would say, is a bit faster paced than Sethkur. What do you think?
Yeah, it seems like most of the hardcore people were already at like level 30 or above when Sethkur launched, so they naturally wouldn't re-roll. I mean, the whole reason Sethkur came out was because the queue times on Elysium was just immense.
Right. 20K.
So at least. So it was mostly lower people who transferred over to Sethkur,
that just couldn't get in anymore.
Yeah, and these people are not the hardcore people. They are not the ones who are spamming all the way up to level 60 as fast as possible. So I would say that, at least also because some of my neighbors in the dorm, they play on Sethkur, and it's been a lot better community, a lot more nicer people on Sethkur. So if you just don't want to bother with the idiots that come with the private server, maybe Sethkur is better, because it supposedly is a much better community.
So that's interesting. So there, you would say there's it's not as trying hard maybe, or I don't know.
It's much easier.
A bit more easy. Okay, yeah.
There are, of course, those people who are like, oh, new server, must get world first, right? I mean, those people exist on every server, but not as much on Sethkur, which is, I mean, it's good that there is this server which is different from Elysium, but because the servers are so close in times, it would be really fun if you could see some actual competition for server first. So see if Blackwing Lair releases, see who gets the first on Nefarian, if it's Zedkur or Elysium.
Oh yes.
But as it stands now, with
exactly. That would be cool.
with both Nope and Grizzly being on Elysium, I don't think Zedkur has a chance. Maybe they do, but I don't think so. But it would be really cool to see.
Yeah, the thing is Nope on Elysium Horde? Because I've seen a couple of them.
Yes.
But not many, to be honest.
I don't know if it's like the real Nope guild, because I think they stayed on Nostalrius.
So if anyone from Nope is listening, let us know if you guys are on Elysium indeed, because I've seen one or two of you, but that's it. I haven't seen any more, so I'm really unsure. So so next in the server spotlight is obviously a recommendation for newer players that want to take it a little bit more chilled. Each of the servers are a good choice. I would just say that Zedkur is could need some more players, but from what I've heard when I talk to people from Zedkur, it's around I don't know. I would say like 2 to 6 online, 2 to 6 or 3 to 6k at all times. That's what I heard. That's what I'm told. While Elysium PvP is almost like 7 to 10k at all times. So if you want a little less populated server, Zedkur is the way to go for now. Other than that, there's quick news. Suzerain and Mesh retire from the GM staff, is what I heard. Can you say something about that? Yeah,
so mostly it's because they don't have the time for it anymore. Suzerain wrote like a personal letter or an open letter to the community because he was really tired of people being so mean, which is really something that happens on all forums. I mean, there are loudmouths and shit faces everywhere.
Yeah, and especially in this community.
Yeah, especially here, I would say. I mean, people are flinging shit back and forth. It's Chronos fanboys who are attacking Elysium, and it's Elysium fanboys who are attacking everything else, you know. And he just get fed up with it, and I can understand that.
Yeah, I would totally understand this. He lost his sanity probably, and I wouldn't bother with these people. Like sometimes what you read in World Chat is just pretty retarded, but.
And it's also because he joined the Elysium project when Elysium was small. Yeah. And then it exploded with Nostalrius transferring over to Elysium, and he was not prepared for that, and he didn't have that as a goal in the project. So that's also why he retired. And Mesh just didn't have the time for it.
All right,
but it's important to note that just because 2 people have resigned doesn't mean that everybody's now fleeing the project. No. They are hiring people in the meantime, you know.
So if you're interested in becoming a GM or working with the staff, I'm sure they appreciate the help. Contact the Elysium staff and you can get involved and make a difference. So other than that, maybe we can give a short shout out to the whole community. Maybe stop going to other servers' forums and flaming them. Should I think you should rather be happy that they exist and they also keep up or hold up the banner high of the private server community to get back legacy servers at some point officially. Yeah. So if we can kind of say something right here, let's try to not be such dicks all the time and just enjoy the game a little bit more. Obviously, the people that want to be tough guys over the internet, you can't really change them. They probably have bigger issues in life, but that's just how it is. So that wraps it up for the server spotlight for this week. And let us know what happened on your server in the comments below, and we will feature your server next time. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for forum high and lowlights. Forum highlights and lowlights presented to you by Light. He scanned the forums, and since this is the first week, we're just gonna give you one special post and our thread on the forum. And next week we're gonna watch the forums a little bit closer and bring to you the most stupid flamers to just, highlight them a little bit and show everyone how you do not use the forums, and maybe some really good written posts and well-written posts across the forums of the private realms. So Light, let us know what you found this week.
Okay, so the first post that we're going to look at is one of my own, which I made originally actually on Emerald Dream, but ported it to Nostalrius, and it's just a spell and quest guide for the Warlock, where I put in every spell, including every rank, at each level you get them. So you can see that on level 10 you get Drain Soul, rank 1, Create, Healthstone, and so on, and there's the quest Summoning the Voidwalker. And so you can always see which spells you will get, and it's pretty nice. I've used it a lot, and I usually get some comments of people thanking me for doing it. The most useful thing is actually looking at what demon spells you get, because otherwise you have to resummon your demon all the time. And here you can just see that, okay, level 28 you get a new Firebolt for your Imp, and a Lash of Pain for your Succubus. So it's pretty cool to use. The other post that we're going to look at is the financial report for Elysium, and they are posting how to contribute to the server. Either you can pay for the entire server upkeep anonymously just by filling in this number here, and the cost is 310 euros per month, which is quite high. So if you can't pay all that, you can also just donate to their PayPal, and which I will be doing. I will be doing about the same as a WoW subscription would cost, which is 15 euros or something. I will donate that every month just because I like the server, and if you have the means to do that, then by all means do it. It really helps out the server. All right, those are those two.
All right, so let's jump right into the next topic, which would be the leveling in vanilla after Legion and your personal leveling experience so far. Now, I've just hit level 60 last night, so I'm through with it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I leveled as Protection Warrior, and it worked. Yes, it worked. And obviously it's more suitable for groups, and you can, if you're a solo player, you go Fury. But now the interesting part is, last time I leveled on the vanilla server was before Legion came out. So I played Legion and I tried it out, and obviously the leveling in the newer expansions is pretty good. You can't really say anything against it. It's pretty interesting. The story comes out very well. It's a really good storytelling. In those quests you get good stuff there, and you see just an amazing landscape. It's just really nothing you can say about that. Now, before on Nostalrius, I did not play retail or a new add-on or anything. I just went in and leveled, and I actually really liked it there. So I played 3 characters to 60 there. Now, this time I played Legion, and now I came back and had to level in vanilla. And so my personal experience, how was it actually? And I think, you know, obviously last night I was like very close to 60, and then it came to my mind when I was in the Plaguewood, you know, in front of Stratholme, and I was actually, you know, gathering fucking termites and killing ghouls for the heroes of Darrowshire. And I don't want to whine or complain, but I just realized, you know, the questing in vanilla actually isn't really that great. You know, there's so much zone hopping back and forth. Now you do some of the quests, and then all of a sudden you need to go to fucking Tanaris to get a Scholomance key, because that's where the goblin is. And then you need to go to Winterspring, pick up the Pamela quest for Eastern Plaguelands, you know, the whole Red Path quest line. And you need to pick it up in Winterspring to do it in Eastern Plaguelands. So while at the same time I like that you have to go to certain places in the world, and you know, that encourages travel and the world is alive and all this. But at the same time, you know, some of the quests, man, the Jinta lore in the hinterlands, you know, the elite quests from the trolls, where you have to go to the very top of the city to get the ancient egg or the mallet of Silvarak, or check for Sharpbeak's cage. You know, who thought of these things? It's fucking, what is it, 47 elites and or even 52 elites, and the zone is like for 47, and you just get slaughtered on the way up there.
Yeah, it's
no
almost
way.
like an instance in itself.
It's
right?
hard, it's actually harder than a fucking instance. I felt like.
Yeah.
And those are the things where I just really think, that really changed for the better in Legion or in retail. I must really say that the questing just really wasn't that great of an experience for me, but this could also be because the server is so full and there was so much ganking going on. Not that I don't like world PvP, I actually enjoy it, but if you're just doing a quest solo or with 2 players, and then there's the 7th 8-man horde raid coming by that also does the quest and just fucking kills you, or the other way around, you're questing as alliance and there's a horde player, he just wants to pick up this one thing, and then like 10 alliance players just jump him, just kill him again and again and again. You get the feeling, oh my god, this is a bit, this is not fun anymore. This is not even open PvP 10 versus 1 or anything.
Yeah, but it's just plainly annoying.
Yeah, it's just retarded
at that point.
But that's PvP server, and but maybe it's because it was so full. But I've generally felt like I enjoy the leveling kind of, but if you just really compare it to the retail, man, it's a big difference. And I'll probably level 1 or 2 other tunes to 60, but also when you go with the guide, it's much faster, and you combine the routes very well so that you don't waste time running somewhere. But all this zone hopping, you can't just stay in one zone and quest it through all the way, because there's such big level gaps in between.
Yeah.
Like Stranglethorn Vale, it goes from 30 to 50 or 45, I think the elite quests are. That's a huge level range, and you always have to skip between zones if you want to do it right. That was my experience now that I'm 60. And
I think the biggest difference, other than quests actually being in one zone in Legion, is the difficulty in questing. I felt, because I also played Legion, that you can pretty much face roll your way through everything. And I know the level of the mob scale in Legion.
Yeah, of course, that's totally different. But
yeah, but I remember I was probably 101 or something, and there was a quest that was guarded by level 110s, which is 9 levels above me. I mean, those are I think there are skulls. In the traditional sense, you wouldn't even be able to see their level in vanilla, and you'll get crushed by them, you'll get smashed. But in Legion, it was easy. I mean, it wasn't easy. That particular part was not easy, but it was clearly doable, and I did the quest. And in vanilla, you really have to be careful about what you do. I mean, I'm playing a warlock, which is one of the easier classes to level, but as a warrior or rogue, those classes are really difficult to level, and I think it adds a lot of immersion into the game, that it is difficult, it is dangerous, not only because there's horde everywhere or alliance, but the quest mobs are difficult.
But I actually like the fact that it's difficult, and I like that you have to team up to do elite quests or harder quests. I like that. The thing was just like all this zone hopping, and then there were quests just feeling completely out of place, and they could be just like as an experience. I felt like, okay, I remember this obviously, and I like the way it is, but I just thought like at some points there were quests where I just felt they were out of place, man. That was just so weird that they put it into the game even.
And this is very much a problem in the later levels, like 50 to 60. Most quests are you need to jump around the zones a lot. Like all the Winter Spring quests are like, you pick up a bunch of quests and they all lead to different places around the world. So I think at that, and also some zones have like 3 quests in them. Like Ashara, for instance.
Yeah, exactly.
There's so few quests. Yeah. It's a big zone. It's one of the huge zones, and there's nothing in it.
Talking about custom content again.
Oh yeah, custom content. Yeah. I mean, and that is quite annoying, I think. And
yeah, but anyway,
of course,
I mean, yeah. If what level are you again now? 40.
40. Yeah.
Yeah. I also felt like from 40 onwards, it was much faster. It felt much faster, or much easier, or more comfortable. But at the same time, you know, the leveling in vanilla. I can see why people quit in between.
Yeah, it's dull. It's fairly dull, but
sometimes I like the hard quests, which are interesting. But then again, in the guides you're usually told to just skip those quests and just get on with kill 30 more of those. And I actually felt the interesting quests are the harder quests.
Yeah.
But that was just a really quick experience. Now that I hit 60 and you're like 40, it just came to my mind comparing to Legion, like what a huge difference this is in questing. While also what I don't like about Legion was, you know, you actually just face roll through it. There's, I don't know, I don't think I died maybe once in the whole questing in Legion, and that's probably already bad. So yeah, but I think that wraps it up pretty well. So yeah, let us know what you think about the vanilla leveling, where you are at the moment, because I can sometimes, you know, there's a wave of rage coming through the guild chat. Someone died again in Stranglethorn, and we all feel with him.
Stranglethorn Vale, as we like to call it.
Exactly. All right, so that leads us into the guild spotlight.
You should join my guild. I got this guild. You're actually gonna join my guild?
It is the guild spotlight. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the guild spotlight of today. I'm just gonna explain this again really quickly. The idea of the guild spotlight is that you guys leave us comments or contact us in game that you want to be part of the show and want to feature your guild because you did something really crazy. You only fight with green gear and molten core, or you go into molten core with only dungeon set 1, or you are a role-playing guild that is looking for new members, or you're only a world PvP guild that ganks Lakeshire all the time, and or you are, you know, anything really, and you want to have your guild featured. Just write to us what makes us a little bit special, and we'll have you on the show. So today, since we just came up with this, we're just gonna sell out and feature our own guild. So the guild is called Attack, like the channel. So we are actually a guild that played on old Nostarias, and we used to clear the content in one day. Sometimes we did ZG on top of the MC Blackwing Lair and Onyxia, which was really late then, but we did it in one day. Not recommendable. I probably wouldn't recommend doing it again. But yeah, we had a pretty solid guild going on though, by the name of Dago Dasil on Nostarius, and we now took the core of people that we had, and because the server was really scattered, like people were really scattered across the server, and we wanted a new story, so we went on to Elysium PvP and rerolled there with our core. So now the first people hit 60, and including myself, and yeah, now we are actually looking for new players, recruiting people. Maybe interesting to say is that we have played on Nostarius since the server launched, actually. So we've been around for quite a while now, and our guild is not a hardcore guild, not a tryhard guild. It's more about having fun, but then again having the raids disciplined and getting through there in a solid time. We are hybrid spec friendly, so that means if you want to play a Shadow Priest, you are welcome in our guild, as long as we still have free spots, etc.
You are very welcome to play a Shadow Priest, so you can boost the Warlock's damage.
Yes, well, that's what you say. So one Shadow Priest. Let's keep it one Shadow Priest after the debuff slot increase. So we are a rather laid back guild in the guild chat. Positivity and you know, having fun and atmosphere is more important to us than anything else. So we are looking for people that are socially capable and you know, can take a joke or two and aren't too grown up. in the sense of being dicks and being very how do you say that?
What are you trying to say?
So we are interested in people that have a sense of humor, but also don't write cancer and insults in the guild chat all day. Yeah, so we are looking for raiders. Any classes are welcome at the moment. Almost all levels are welcome at the moment. Maybe if you're a level 10 rogue, your chances are a bit lower to get into the guild. We usually don't recruit rogues anymore because don't need them really much. So any class besides rogue is very welcome to join. Find us on Elysium PvP. We're going to raid, and we're going to start the puck raids soon to recruit some more people. So if you're looking for a laid back guild with loot counter running, then you are welcome to join us. That is Alliance side. Contact Mosen from the guild Attack or CU or Necrush. Now this is kind of boring because this is my guild and we don't want to feature ourselves here, so please let us contact us, let us know in the comments if you want to be featured in this. You can be invited to Skype, or you just give me some information about who you are. Preferably I would like to have you on the show with a microphone, with voice, but if you don't want that, you can just let me give me some information. But just let us know in the comments or contact us somehow in game, and we'll feature you on the show. And we are excited to feature some interesting guilds, most of all, and maybe do a little favor to guilds that can't really spam their macro all night, or don't want to spam their macro all night, to recruit new players. So the last topic of the day leads us to the question that most of you are going to ask themselves, maybe not. What to do first at level 60 or 58, 59? What are the first things you will have to do? Now, why we are having this topic or discussing this topic is I watched a lot of people rush to 60 like really crazy, and like someone told me, well, you've been offline for 17 hours, so I thought like, is this guild gonna survive? And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Maybe you should take a break from the game for a day or something. 17 hours not online and doubting the whole guild, and if people are gonna make it to 60, don't worry about it. But I've got stuff to do like this, for example, and then maybe eat and sleep and shower and do things in real life. So first of all, I want to give you the big advice. Now you can say people that have already played on vanilla servers already know this, and I don't want to sound like a dad trying to tell you what to do, but don't rush it too much and get burned out after 1 month, because Molten Core is going to be out for a long time, and if you farmed Molten Core for 4 or 5 times, it's boring. And well, it's not totally boring, but it's not the most exciting thing either. And once that's done, you can do maybe Onyxia and level an alt or PvP, and just don't take away the game from yourself. Enjoy the leveling while you're rushing to 60, and take it easy, do something, help others in your guild, help your friends out, push them through dead mines, Shadowfang Keep, anything. It helps them out a lot, and playing with friends is much more interesting than rushing through and just no-lifing it to the point where you don't have fun anymore. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, the first thing you should probably do is just respec, because you'll probably have some sort of leveling build, which is not very good in level 60. So probably hit with your trainer, look up some good specs for your class, depending on what you want to do. If you want to do raids, or you want to do just dungeons, or maybe PvP as well, and then you can hit one of those options. You can also go gank the Horde or Alliance, and I would strongly encourage you to guard your guildies, those people who are still struggling through Gankathorn Vale, and guard them, help them out. Another thing you can do is get your profession sorted out if you haven't already. I would actually recommend doing this while you're leveling, because it's a nice break from leveling to go around the auction house, figure out if you can produce something that sells well, make some money, do something like that. But at 60, yeah, you should have some professions up at 300. Look up what you can make with it. Some things sell very well. If you're an alchemist, you should get the Arcanite recipe. Make some Arcanite for people. But yeah, that's some good things to get started there.
Yeah, I would agree. Do something while you maybe wait on others. If you're not in one of those guilds where everyone rushed to 60, help the others out, help guildies out, push them through a dungeon. Makes it so much easier for them. And now that you're 60 already, you can help them. And also my recommendation would be to do the Blightcaller quest line that is for Alliance, and I think Horde has a similar thing in the Eastern Plague Lines to kill one of the Scarlet Crusade dudes. And there's a quest line leading up to that, which is a raid quest at the end, and you get some pretty cool rewards. So it is definitely worth doing that. I did it last night and just built a group. I just started a raid. And we had like 15 people and we did it, and so I got a really good tanking bow, the Corward bow. And Heroes of Darrowshire is something that you can do. That is a really cool quest. Now,
such a sad quest line.
Yeah, it's a sad quest line, but I really also encourage you to read the text the quest text for those quests, because some of them are really, really well designed. Obviously, the In Dreams quest line, you get some sick rewards. I think the In Dreams quest line starts at Tyrion Fordring, which is in the western, along the river and Eastern Plaguelands side of the river.
And remember to sit down when when he tells you to sit down and listen.
Yes, you type in /sit.
Yes.
And then
gotta
you
be
can
done.
Yep. So you don't get confused. So that's something I wanted to tell you can do. Also, as I said, the professions are really, really interesting to skill up. You can travel the world a little bit, gather some stuff, get your professions up until a lot of until more guildies hit 60. And also, I would encourage to do some PvP, because now at the start of the server, feels like to me it's easier to rank still. So you can get up to levels, at least like rank 6, and get yourself some cheap potions at the PvP vendors. So if you're rank 6, I think it is, you can buy the pretty good potions at the PvP vendor, and Stormwind or Orgrimmar, I think. And so that's worth going and pushing for rank 6 in PvP. And remember that you can also push to rank 10 or 11 for the epic mount. It's a free epic mount through PvP, but it's rank 11. Or rank 10 for the full set, blue PvP set that you can get your hands on rather easily.
It's a really good set as well, at least for the caster classes.
Yeah. I don't know if it's good for all classes, because it's before the update. Now it's the...
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's not the updated set. So I think for Paladin, for example, there's no spell damage on it. There's strength, agility, and intellect on it, and stamina, and all this. But it's the set bonuses could be really interesting to you. So check those out. And what else is there to do? I think getting ready for the raids is always the most obvious thing. But if you don't want to start spamming the dungeons with randoms you don't know, and you want to wait for the guildies, those are alternatives you can do. What I also found is really cool is already starting an alt. I've started a Peli, and once in a while I just logged on to the Peli and I just did 1 or 2 levels in the 18 to 20 or 20 to 21. Did a chilled Deadmines run with someone that was lower in the guild that just started or something, and that really gave some change to the game, and I really enjoyed that. Taking a break from it all, and then having a chill night with someone that is not as high yet. So yeah, anything else that you want to add?
Well, just keep in mind that according to the timeline, Black Mirror will first be released in like July, and that is quite far away. So you don't have to rush all the way up to level 60. And also, if you're a new player and haven't started playing yet, you have plenty of time to level up to 60 and get going into Molten Core and that. So take your time. Don't burn out. You have plenty of stuff to do until Black Mirror comes out. So
yes, there's always some really cool quests around the world. For example, I think it's Aquamentus questline or something for casters, and it gives like an offhand that gives you, or that decreases the mana cost to all spells by 25, especially for priest, pallies, etc. It's really good. So those are quests you can find and do, and you get really sick items to start out your raiding experience. So maybe check out, talk to people about that, what you can, hidden quest lines or quest lines that yield very good rewards at the end. They are usually even lower level than 60 because the rewards are just that good. I think it's Ungoro Crater questline for the sick offhand that decreases your mana costs. That's just an example. There's a lot of quests in game you can do that give you really good items. I know the before having Dalrend swords, the Threshblade from the Maraudon quest is really good for Furious Rogues, etc. So those are usually also low level quests. So if you haven't done them yet, find where they are and then build a group and go and get the sick rewards.
Yeah.
So I would just say get attuned to the raids, push your professions a little bit, play an alt a little bit, help your guildies a little bit, and PvP. Take it easy at the start and see where it goes from there. Don't get discouraged if you're a low level still, because to be fair, after 6 months into playing Nostarius and having all content on farm, we always had people that just hit 60 and joined the guild as a fresh player, and then you would get carried through MC, and there was always fresh players coming. So don't mind your level so much and just enjoy the game. I think that wraps the podcast number 3 up pretty well. Light, is there anything you want to say before we close this show?
No, nothing really. It's been fun playing. Looking forward to getting into the 40s and 50s and eventually level 60.
Right. Yeah. I need to speed it up a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
I already got my Savage Gladiator chest and Skullflame shield, man.
Oh yeah, you got the Skullflame shield.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
And the crazy chest from BRD. It's great. I mean, it's sick. 2% crit, 20 defense. Amazing. Yeah. So yeah, you guys enjoy your grind, and thank you very much for watching this podcast again. As I said, I can't say it enough. Thank you very much for all the feedback and the positive upvotes and all this good stuff. Thanks for sharing it. I read some people are putting it on, listening to it in the car, wherever you're listening to it. Have a great day, week, weekend, whatever. I hope you're listening to this while you're enjoying the grind or leveling through some of the zones. So thank you very much for watching, and if you like the stuff, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. That's what it is for. And don't forget to comment and maybe subscribe to the channel if you liked it. It's much appreciated. Just want to give a quick shout out to our own channel. We now have a channel ID that is youtube.com/AtechTV. Now that we hit 100 subscribers, thank you very much for this. We are also streaming on this platform, so once in a while you can check in on YouTube and see us live and while we stream. And for now, we will see you next time. Welcome to our ending card. Please like, review, and comment, as feedback is always appreciated, and we hope to see you next time.